Just a first step on successful relationship. Hey honey, did you need a hand with the clothes over there?
Nope, no problem.
We're good.
Over the horizon.
Following scenario is has two outcomes. One where the wife becomes miserable and unhappy, and the second one where we both win. Hey bud, what you doing?
Play computer game. Do you wanna play with me?
Nah, I'm good. I got other stuff to do.
Asshole.
And this is scenario 2, to appease the wife, make sure that she's good and happy. In the next scenario, we'll avoid a conflict, and sometimes you've got to go against what you want to do and appease the other partner to value their system, their value system. Okay. Hey, honey, what you doing?
Play computer game.
Oh yeah.
Yay. Gonna play? A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, I suppose so. Go on. Let's play. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hey, Tweety,
Yeah.
anong ginagawa mo?
Nalaro computer game. PS4.
PS4.
Gusto mo maglaro?
Hindi. Salamat. Okay, scenario
Dos.
Scenario 2. To make the wife
Why jump? Fuck's sake.
X for jump. You can't go up there
Yeah, why?
because it's out of the maps area. Scenario 2, at masaya siya. And how do you say, what are you doing?
Anong ginagawa mo?
Ito na, anding ba... What?
Anong ginagawa mo?
Tweety, anding ba ginagawa mo?
Ito, naglalaro computer game.
PS4?
Yes, PS4.
Ah.
Kailangan mo. Okay, again. Minsan kailangan.
Minsan kailangan.
Okay, listen. Minsan kailangan mong gawin ang mga bagay.
Ang mga na... Fuck's sake.
Ang mga
Ang mga bagay
na
na
ayaw mong
gawin
para
para
sumaya siya.
You see the button next to this one? This finger here?
Yeah.
On the right hand?
That's
Your fire button.
fire. Doesn't even fire.
The right
What are you
button.
talking
The
about?
right button. That one. No?
Doesn't.
What about the one underneath? Aren't you stunning with it? Yeah, so you're stunning the shit out of it. Rebel commandos were planning their next move against the evil galactic empire. For the first time, all warships in the rebel fleet were being brought together to form a single great armada.
Tahimik.
Little did they know, however, that the rebellion was doomed, for the Emperor had ordered the construction of a new armored space station, more powerful than the first Death Star. Oh, you've got to blow those things up, otherwise they're going to hurt you.
No, wait a minute. Ah! Oh, fuck's sake. Mission failed. You're so talkative. That's why you're so.
And whatever action you take, there's always going to be a consequence
You're
to
so
that action.
madaldal.
Madal-
See, mission failed.
Madaldal yourself, Mandela.
Madaldal.
Still want a hand with the laundry?
No,
Okay, I'll give you a hand.
no, don't touch it.
Well,
Don't.
it's part of the value system thing.
Don't touch it. Papis.
Oh. Shit backfires. So in summary, a value system is a list of beliefs that you have collected through the blueprint of mum and dad over the nature period of your gestation, through the nurture period of your ego personality's development, which is between the ages of 0 and 7 years of age. Between 0 and 3, you live in like a theta consciousness state, which is pretty much a brain, like a dream state. That's why you'll notice babies are clutching at everything because they don't know the difference between their own shit and themselves. And between the ages of 3 and 7 is when they start developing neural pathways in their brain. Now, this is the time that's very, very, very important. So a lot of the stuff that's absorbed by children, and here you are today with that blueprint and those neural pathways in healthy or unhealthy situations in your life, career-wise or relationship-wise or whatever. those neurons are physiologically measurable in your brain. So you either stay where you are with those value systems and the values, or you go and seek people like Anthony Robbins, who does neuro-linguistic programming or neuro-linguistic association, and he builds neural pathways that are larger than the existing ones. Because by the time you're 35 years of age, they don't really change, and you pretty much rehearse who you are, who you have been for the last 3.5 decades by that time. So it's still possible, but difficult. So the bottom line is your value system is something that you can work on, but some of us have had a shitty deck of cards issued or decked out, and some of us have had a fairly good deck of cards decked out. Either way, there's stuff to bring to the relationship, which is healthy and unhealthy. But if you're able to have your value system honored by the other person, and for that to happen, it's more natural to be in a relationship with someone with a similar set of values, then it's going to be a more cohesive experience. This is an example of how value systems get lost. Jack and Jill are married. Jack is at work. Let's stereotype her in the 50s. Jill is at home. She speaks about 25,000 words a day, because that's what women used to speak, or roughly do speak still, and men speak between 10 and 15,000 words a day. That scared the shit out of me. I don't know what that was. So long story short, he comes home, he's tired, he's done his 10, 15,000. She wants to have a chat. He says, no, tomorrow we'll talk. So she gets her value system and places it under the carpet for the night, because his value system is not to talk anymore, but his value system is to have some cave time and have a beer. The next morning, he doesn't ask how the day was. She wonders why. She says, my day was blah, blah, blah. He cuts her off and says, I really respect the fact that you had a day that was such and such, but can we talk about it later? And later means never. So he basically doesn't ask her, she doesn't come forward with it, and she has to make a decision between two things: her value system or the relationship. And guess what most people choose? The relationship. So out goes the value, gets thrown out in the bin. And the reason to do that, the reason we do that, is because we think they'll change and one day I can bring my value system back to this relationship. It doesn't happen. People don't do that. Eventually you both strip each other down until you've got very little recognition of the person you fell in love with or who you're attracted to in the very first place, and you will become a shell of your former self. You split and you retain yourself. You go back to your communication skills, you go back to your cave time, and then you meet someone and they all go once again, and you go around in circles like that. Hence the 51% divorce rate in Australia at the moment. So retain your value system, meet somebody who has a similar set of values. That's a really important start. If you're in a relationship already where that's not the case, it's okay. Using this method, you can still have a relationship. It just means that if she loves cats and you hate cats and you think that all cats should be thrown into an abyss in the dark hole of space, then you simply every birthday buy her a cat bracelet and then respect the fact she likes cats. All right, I'm getting called to do something. Yes? See, luckily we both like dogs and we don't like cats. So that's the plus, you know. I'm glad to hear that the dog is alive and not in an abyss in a galaxy somewhere like the cats should be.